Firefly? Hi guys, let me know if we are live in Firefly. We are dual broadcasting over here from Zoom. So if you want to join the live video feed, then click on the Zoom link up above. Otherwise, you are welcome to join us here live, and I will try to catch your questions as I'm looking kind of both places. So, we got a few people. Hey guys, Leia's on. And over here we have Sabrina and Katie and Amber. Hi Ashley. Hi everybody. Will everybody start to jump on? So while everybody's jumping on, we can talk about a couple of things. Obviously you guys know, I think, that we have some big promotions happening in the business right now. So obviously we still have our supersize kit for joining this month. They get $342 worth of product, that's US dollars, for $99, and that includes this Disney wax. So if you haven't smelt these, they're really, really amazing. I'm not a big floral person, and they're really beautiful. They're so, so good. The rose from Belle, it's got some sandalwood in it, so it kind of calms it down, so it's not as floral. It doesn't trigger that headache that florals normally do. And then Cinderella has the gardenia, which is the top note, and it's got forget-me-nots. It's really great. And Mulan has also some wood in it too, so it's not as girly. And then Ariel, I think, is probably everybody's favorite so far. This one, it has apple in it and kind of a by the sea scent a little bit, but a little bit of sweetness and a little floral. So this one's really good too, and it's kind of a good unisex. So anyway, if you haven't smelled them, they are all really good. So feel confident knowing that you can tell people that they're amazing. So anybody who joins gets this pack for free, and it comes in the Disney Princess, if you can see this, velveteen pink bag. It comes in this bag for this time. And then also, if they reinstate and they buy the reinstatement kit, they also get that for free. And then if they host a party, anything 200 PRV or over, they can buy this or for half off, or earn it for free, the $28 value, and they can get up to 4 on a party. So that promotion is happening. You can also get the scent, the transition scent kit. So you can get one of all of the new scents coming in September, or you can get or you can get all of the or a selection of the warmers for the new season sales kit as well. So yeah, Ashley, she made felt samples for her customers. And she did them, she got 50 out of each of these, and she did felt so that she could lay them flat. So she could lay them flat, she didn't have to pay any extra postage, and you can do that kind of thing and put it in baggies and do those little glue dots and put them in your catalog, so your catalog kind of becomes a scratch and sniff. But she did that and sent it out to her people. So I added them samples in all of my whiff boxes this month, and people absolutely love them. So get them in people's hand. And you know, Ashley shared that tip with us on Firefly, and I saw it posted in at least 4 or 5 SSDs group as a great tip. So it is a good one. So make yourself some samples of these guys. And then they will be on sale in the catalog, of course, next month, and they are a little bit more because we have the Disney licensing fee, so they're $6.50 a piece, so they're a little bit different on price point. But we're going to talk about the catalog next week. So next week I'm going to do a full catalog walk. This is where, so if you haven't ordered your catalogs, do that, because this is where we're going to go through your catalog. We are going to make notes on everything. We're going to mark it. It's becoming your master catalog that you take everywhere. So every time you learn something new, every time you, find out what a bestseller is, then you just write in that book and you tag it so you have a quick reference for a quick flip on how to get to things. It'll be your master. So, and I will find out all of the like little details that you may not know about things, because I love those little like details when I'm selling. And so that's what I like to kind of talk about when we do the catalog walk. So we'll do catalog walk next month, or next week as well. And then the week after that, I'm planning on doing a mock Facebook bingo party right here in Firefly that will also save as an event so that you guys can just copy and paste that stuff over, the whole idea, everything about it. And so you know exactly how to do that for your fall parties. And we're going to wait to do it until September so that everything is new and fresh for you. It wouldn't make any sense to do it right now. So with that, with a couple of those little news items, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We've got a really big crowd of Facebook Live. Hello. We've got people over here on video. So hello. So you'll see me going back and forth if anybody's new and aren't sure where the heck I am looking. That's why. Okay, so we are talking about VIP group today. Now, whether you have a VIP group or you don't, they're a really important, useful, valuable tool. I'm really big on not doing something until you feel like you can do it really well. But this is one that I think that you need to dive in, even if you feel like because we're going to build our wings on the way down, because it's so important going into the fall season to have your core group of customers all in one place so that you know exactly who you're talking to. And it's really good if you're just starting to start having that VIP group from the very beginning. Start with that foundation. If you already have a VIP group, but you're noticing that it's just not a lot of, you're right, Fallon. If you notice that there's not a lot of interaction, if you're not getting a lot of sales, if you're not getting a lot of traction, if you feel like you're just sort of floating along there and things aren't giving you a lot of traction, then that is, then this training is for you too. So don't feel like if you already have one that you're not going to get anything here, because we're going to talk about lots of ideas. Yes, Samantha, perfect. So I think that you can get maybe as much or even more out of this training if you already have one. So we're going to talk about revamping that and relaunching it. And we're all going to sort of relaunch it together on September 1st. We're going to talk about a timeline for that. So first, I'm going to kind of talk about these 6 steps or so that we're going to go through. And then I'm going to go back and fill in some of the fun, some of the ideas, some of the cool stuff that you can do. And then I'm going to tell you a little secret at the very end. Fallon has a little hint to it, so you don't give anything away, Fallon. But I'm going to be working right alongside of you guys. And a little secret, if you ever see me do a training on something that's sort of new like this, a lot of times it's because it's something that I'm working on my own as well. So that's a little hint for you too. So tell me, Facebook turned off my notifications for all my customers in my VIP group. Okay, I can't read much past that, but we'll talk about that a little bit too, kind of working that Facebook algorithm machine, because it does stink. Now I'm going to talk really fast so I can try to get through all this information, and I know your time is valuable, so I want to try to respect that. So here we go. First thing I want you to do is I want you to spend a little bit of time researching. One of my favorite things from the author we've been talking a lot about from Girl Wash Your Face, Rachel, says is that you have to dive in. Like, quit your researching, your polling, your planning, your idea thinking. So if you are in that boat for this VIP group, stop right now and just make it happen. But you do want to spend a little bit of time. Let's just limit it, okay? Let's just limit it to one day, one power hour of research to kind of figure out the direction you want to go. And this is the things that you want to research. You want to really ask the question, if you were in this VIP group, what would you want to get out of it? Why will people want to be there? What added value are you going to add that someone else may not be able to add? What makes people want to come to your VIP group and turn those notifications back on. We can be mad at Facebook. They're going to change those algorithms all the time, but it always comes down to who's putting out the best content. If you put out content wins every single time. And so Facebook can't ever take that away. They can take notifications away, but those people are going to want to be there and they're going to go. So you want to ask yourself those questions. And sometimes when I'm asking myself those questions, I have to think about a different company. So you can think about when you're doing this research phase number 1, you want to think about what other VIP groups are you in? What do you like about them? What do you hate about them? What do you wish that they had? Think about another product that you love. Say it's Lush products and you were in a VIP group for it. What would you hope for? We all love the free giveaway, so yeah, you'd hope for that. But what else? Would you want to learn about, like, some cool beauty tips, or a wine pairing for something with a bath product? Think about those kind of things. So what would you want to get a VIP out of a VIP group? You also can poll some of your best people, but you don't have to do a big Facebook poll and a big survey monkey. No, just go to a couple of your good friends that are great customers. I did this with my with an event with one of my neighbors that's a really great customer, and I just simply polled her. I just wanted to know what her specific opinion is, because when we are determining and even when we're doing big branding campaigns for multi-million-dollar campaigns, we always break it down to the one person. So you're never like, okay, how do we broadly cover everybody? We're always like, okay, who is this specific person we're talking to? How many kids do they have? How many, tell us everything about this one specific person. So it's okay to poll that one person that you're really good in your target market, and ask them, what would you hope to see on my VIP page? What would give you added value? What would make you come every single day? What would you expect from my personal brand? What would you expect me to be talking about other than just Scentsy? So get a feel for it. So that's number 1, is the research, but don't spend any more than a day on this. And we're going to work backwards into a timeline that fits into as well. So that's another reason why we're going to limit to a day. Number 2, you are going to figure out what your page's brand is. Now, we talk a lot about branding here and what your personal brand is, and that's just how you make people feel and the aesthetic that you put off, that your brand looks like. What do you look and what do you feel like? What do you talk about on Facebook? Is it dogs? Is it coffee? Is it your kids? Is it that you homeschool? Do you love home decor? What are all of those things about your personal brand? And then figure out how you can pull that into your VIP group's brand. And, you can take an extension of that. I'm going to talk some specific examples, but this one's really fun, so I'll put this one up here. But I have a friend, and she has an extension, and her brand for her page is all about, what is it called? What does she call it? Her theme is no place like home, and the mantra is to make home so awesome that you'll never want to leave, and it's a Wizard of Oz theme. So you can see how it makes it a lot easier once you get real niche to be able to come up with fun images and things that make a lot of sense. And once you start thinking about that, you're like, oh yeah, because tap tap, there's no place like home and home decor. That makes so much sense. And you can do that with just about any thing that you want to theme it as. And you can theme it, big forever. This is your theme. Or you can say seasonally that maybe your theme is hygge, which is the Danish word for cozy that's all in our catalog, right? So maybe the theme is all about the cozy. Maybe it's being basic. Maybe it is I Love Lucy. I think it's, who is it? There's a couple of you that love the I Love Lucy. So figure out what it is that you want that brand to be. But again, set a time limit on it. Decide, okay, I'm going to spend 30 minutes thinking this through, figuring it out, and I'm going to decide on it. And if you just aren't sure if that's what you want to commit to forever, just do it seasonally. Say, let's just try it for the season and see how it works. Then think about, what that theme, maybe your mantra. What is the question that you want answered every time you post? Does this answer that question? Does it fit within our mantra? And that helps you kind of hone in on that brand. It helps you decide, if I gave a beauty tip, does that fit within the mantra of making you want to stay home? Maybe not, but maybe if I tweaked it a little, it would. So having that sort of a mantra for your page really kind of helps you hone in and keep honed in on the brand of your page. And the fun thing about creating a brand and giving it an identity is then you create ambassadors for your business and for your brand. So for example, if it was something like I Love Lucy or Wizard of Oz, you better believe that if somebody in your VIP group sees something from Wizard of Oz come up in their feed, they're probably going to share it to the group, or they're going to share it with you. And that is power. That is an emotional connection that you just can't buy, and people love. And when you create ambassadors like that in your group, that's whenever you start getting the interaction. And let me tell you, if you feel like you're not getting interaction in your groups, because they're not talking about Scentsy, they're not buying, that's not where you're going to get the interaction. Your VIP group should be about connecting with those people in ways that's other than Scentsy. And we're going to talk about lots of examples of that in a minute. Okay, so that's number 2. You're going to figure out the look and the feel of it, the theme, the mantra, the whatever it is that you want this VIP group, as well as the name of it. Okay. Then number 3 is you're going to open your page. You're going to open this page, but the very last thing you will do is add people. So you're not there yet. You're going to get this page perfect. I'm going to give you some ideas of some things that you can do in advance. You don't just open the page, add people, and then construct the page. You're going to do all of that before. So number 3 here is when you open the page and you're going to giving it a name, come up with something that is, of course, within your theme, but that also is fun. A lot of people use VIP Lounge. You can do a VIP Suite, or maybe if your brand is all about sports or something, it could be Team. Whatever it is, just come up with something that sounds exciting that you want to be part of. I want to be in a chill VIP lounge, or it sounds exciting, but it also matches your brand. So if your brand is, for example, we all know Ariel, and she's resting smile face. That's how I describe her. So VIP lounge, it's probably not like chill. It's probably opposite of that. So that might not be the best option. So think about your brand too. Okay. So number 4, I'm probably going to do the numbers wrong because I added one. So we're on number 3 on my page, but we're number 4 if you're writing this down. Number 4 is you want to figure out, again, Amanda said hers is called Amanda's Spoiled VIP World. I love that. I love the world. That's fun. So yeah, there's so many cool ideas you can do that. And you can look at, when you're doing your research, you can look at other VIP groups, and if there's things that you like, then jot those down when you're doing that research stage. Okay, so on number 4, you're adding value within your brand. So how can you add value to this page? How can we get people to see the post and come to the page even if Facebook turns off their notifications, right? What is the reason that they're coming to your page? If you are only telling them the same thing that they are learning from the Facebook business page, that you're also posting on your personal page, there's no reason for them to be there. They're VIPs for a reason. You have to figure out what it is and create a plan for what that is. Amanda says her needs an overhaul. A lot of you are in that position. There's a lot of leaders in that position, and it's okay after a summer. It's okay after that season, but now is the time to revamp, to overhaul, and that's what we're talking about today. So when you're adding value, think about things, again, that's within your brand. So we're going to talk about some more ideas, but I can't stand it. I have to give you some thoughts here. So, if your personal brand, if you really like home decor, if you really like all things Joanna Gaines and Ray Dunn, all of those things, then in your plethora of things you're going to be talking about, you want to add that home decor tips. You want to share the HGTV schedule. You want to, talk about your Ray Dunn finds. You want to show pictures of your house, of how you've decorated a specific space with a specific warmer. You want to show how your friends or your other customers are decorating their spaces. You want to encourage them to share how they have decorated their space with Scentsy warmers. You want to talk about the scents that makes it feel like home, that makes it cozy. You want to share articles that you find on the internet that are talking about home decor trends. What is the color of the year? Like this year, they say that black walls or dark walls are really in. So share that and how they can utilize that with their Scentsy warmers, because we know, and whenever I share Scentsy, it's not that we're just a fragrance company, it's home decor and fragrance, because a lot of us use, if you have 16 warmers in your house, like some people, you may not have them all going, but they're all part of your home decor. And so you can make that part of what you're sharing in your group. That would bring me there. If I, was really into that and I knew you were sharing some really great tips and you were telling me the color of the year and that I should paint my wall black and showing me practical ways to decorate or DIY stuff that's really cool and easy, and if it's your face doing a lot of it, then I'm going to be intrigued by that, and I am going to be coming to your page. So always put yourself in your customer's shoes and how you could really benefit and what would make you love coming back there over and over. So again, we're going to talk about some other added value items, lots of just ideas. And if you have ideas as I'm talking, please add them to the comments, because I'm going to create a document after this that gives people ideas that you can kind of fill in, and I would love to add your ideas there too. So as I'm talking, if things just pop in your head, please post them here on the Facebook Live, because people read those Facebook Live posts afterwards as they are rewatching this. Okay, we're going to talk about more of number 4, but we're going to go to number 5 right now. The 5th step here is setting up your page. So again, like I said, you don't just open your page and then add your people and then figure it out from there. No, we want to be very strategic about this group, because these are our people. These are your future hosts. These are your future teammates. These are your best customers. You want to treat them like the VIPs that you are promising that they are. So a couple things. Cover photo. Make sure that cover photo fits in the cover photo frame. Nothing is more nerve-wracking to me to go to a group where things are like cut off on the top and the bottom. You can really easily go into Canva, into Photify, into PicMonkey, and find a Facebook cover that already has all of the sizes. And if you need to know sizes, let me know. Or if somebody wants that and you want me to post it, remind me in the comments right now, and I will share what that pixel size is so that you can create that. But make sure that cover photo has the name, and maybe it also covers what they can expect. So when you're going through that process of the research, the number 1, 2, and 3, and you're deciding that you want it to be about home decor and coziness and surprises or sneak peeks, you can add that under your name. So it's Candy's VIP group, sneak peeks, home decor, trends, whatever. So you can add that sort of underneath as a description or as your mantra. Please put cover photo on Canva and did it for me. On Canva, the one that says Twitch banner was perfect. Okay, there we go. Ashley just hopefully answered that for you. Yeah, some of those Facebook changes the sizes on things, and different Facebook covers are different. So your personal page, your group page, Your event covers are all different sizes, so you kind of have to be careful. And if Facebook changes it, they don't give anybody any warning, so those design sites don't always have those up, right away. So Ashley gave you a tip here on exactly what to choose. Okay, so when you're setting up that page cover photo, obviously, another one to do is albums. Now, in Firefly, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have under your albums, there are Facebook albums and they're categorized. Like it says, this is the August marketing album, or this is your recruiting album. And you have pictures in there that describe whatever it is that you're talking about. So you can utilize those albums for things like your new catalog. So you can load all of that stuff before you even add people to your group. So add an album that says, the fall, winter catalog, or, if you're in region 3, your spring and summer catalog, and get all of the images. And all of those images already live right there in Firefly. So most of these resources already are available to you in your group or your team pages that you can just copy and paste over. So grab those and make an album. You also can make an album for things like your Scentsy whiff boxes or scent crates that you do. You can do pictures of ones that you've already done. And in that, you can even do screenshots of the reviews that people have given. Like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. Yeah, she reminded me to watch this from the beginning. Okay, no problem, Amanda. So you can do screenshots of what people thought about that, because peer reviews are always going to get you more sales than anything else. So that's a good screenshot to add in that album. And then maybe you have a picture in that album that describes what the whiff boxes are, the process to get them. Make sure you always stay in compliance. We'll talk about that here in a little bit too. Really simple. It's the same things that you post on Facebook, any other social group. It's the same things that you can post in your VIP group. But I'm going to talk about some ways to get around that as well. Okay, another thing in albums you can do is you can add party style. So you might make an album for text parties or home parties or whatever. So maybe there's going to be people, guys, that are interested in the home party that you just posted about, or the Facebook party, but they're just too embarrassed to tell you that they literally have no idea what a party is because they've never been to one. Or they literally have no idea what it entails to do a Facebook party, and they're scared to death it's going to mean that they have to do a lot of work or whatever. And so if you can give them that information that they can go look on their own and sort of, Facebook creep, then it's great, because you have to do a little less work explaining, and you can always reference those albums. You can always provide links to each of those albums. You can always tell them by photos. And again, reviews are really great there too. So you can start asking your hosts, like, tell me what you loved about hosting a Facebook party, and maybe you put the review with how much free stuff they got and a picture of their free stuff or something. So think about those kind of things for your albums, and you can start these albums and then they can just grow. So they can start and maybe you only have 1 or 2 photos in them, and then they can just organically grow as you go. Desiree said she had a male friend host a party via text and it went great. You know what? Guys do really great for hosting, for joining. Women love to buy from dudes, so don't ever discount them. Sometimes they do better than we can ever do. Okay, so another thing when you're setting up that page is you can make sure you think through that description, because people that haven't joined your page yet and you've asked them to join, they're probably going to go again Facebook creep it, and they can see the description even if they can't see the page yet. Even if they're not in the group and it's secret, they can, or it's closed, they can still see the description. So make sure that description sounds fun and exciting and inviting, because you're going to have people decide if they want to join based on that alone. Rachel said she's going to be watching from the beginning tomorrow. Okay, no problem at all. I totally get it. We've got so many different time zones, so no problem whatsoever. Just if you guys are rewatching it, whenever. Just leave your comments live as you go, and I will answer every one of them that has a question. Another thing you can do when you're setting up that page is you can utilize units. So if you don't know what that is, go on Firefly and you can see that we have units, and we have a unit for recruiting, and then it has a whole bunch of individual like courses almost, and for different topics, and then it has courses. So you could do that again for your Facebook parties, your home parties. But what the freaking amazing thing about those is you can literally type out like what your parties are going to say, what you're going to do, and what you're going to send your host in that unit, so that instead of typing out a message to them every single time that's like, okay, this is what you do, okay, Katie, this is what you do now, this is what you do now, and forgetting stuff or whatnot, instead just point them to the unit. Say, okay, you're on step number 3 of the Facebook Live party unit. So read step number 3 and go invite your people. Or you can just use that as your quick reference to copy and paste. But do you see the possibilities of those units, of how crazy, easy, and cool it could be? You could create a unit for how to join my team. And it could literally be step 1, go to www.sensi.us. Step 2, click here, because honestly, people are so filled with fear that there are people that haven't signed up yet because they are feeling scared almost. The fear of the unknown, of what to do whenever they get to the join page. Like, what's going to happen? Is there going to be an explosion? So the more information that you can give them ahead of time, the better. Amanda says, can we add other people's YouTube videos and what about a Facebook party is, and so on. YouTube video about what a Facebook party. Okay, I wouldn't recommend that. If you're going to add somebody's YouTube video or description video about what something is, I would try to stay within your group, within your team, just so if there's a problem with them accidentally buying from them or something, it's easy. But if you have a video of somebody else's that you love, for example, then literally just write down word for word what they said and make your own. And you know what? The less produced, the less perfect it is, the better. If you do it as you're walking out the door, as you're in the car in the drive-through pickup line for the kids, people love that because they know that you were working, on the go, and it gives them the sense that they can do this too. That they can host because it doesn't take that much time. They can join because you can do it in the pickup line. So if you have to, you can, but I really encourage you to kind of make your own videos. And when you find one you like, literally just replicate it. That's what the best of the best do. There's no sense in reinventing the wheel because there's a lot of us that have been doing this for a really long time and we know what works. Sounds better. Thanks. Okay, cool. Okay, so when you're setting up your page, cover photo, we talked about albums, your description's really important, and your units. Lots of possibilities for units. The parties, the how to join, if you have people from overseas that are thinking about joining, this is how you join if you live in Australia, New Zealand, or Europe. If you are military from an APO, this is how you join, or this is how it works. So you can use those units for so much stuff. And the really super cool thing is that you can, again, just link that unit when you're talking about stuff. So if somebody asks you a question, or if you're sharing a post about something, in the comments you can say, here's more information if you want to know how to join, or if you are military and have a question about APO or whatever, you can add ordering information there. There's some people that instead of sending people to their website, they send them to a Google form to fill out, so that you as the consultant place the order. You can add your Google form, your order form there as well in a unit. So tons of possibilities. If you have any other ideas as you're watching this for units, how that could be utilized in a VIP group, let us know. Okay, next is number 6. Now you need to figure out the members. So you got to figure out who. What is your criteria? Are these people that have bought before? Are they people who you want to buy? Are they people that you have met? What is your criteria for who can be in that group? And what is your criteria for whenever they get booted from the group? You will probably want to keep it to where you don't have any other Scentsy consultants. It is customers only. So if you keep it to no Scentsy consultants, if you get somebody to join, then have them teach them exactly to do what you've done, and have them create their own VIP page and move them and their customers that were on your page over to their VIP group. So you want to figure out what that criteria is before you begin. Next is you want to figure out when you're going to launch. So I am proposing that you launch this as September the 1st, whether it's a relaunch, a revamp, or it's your first time. Do it September 1st. It's a new catalog. It's a brand new, clean, perfect slate and perfect time to do it. Next is where. So where are you going to give this information about this Facebook group? Are you going to mail it out? Are you going to do a Facebook post? Are you going to do it by email, by text, by phone? Figure out what it is and literally write that down. Like, this is the plan. Because when you're figuring out this plan and you're putting it all down on paper, then you're going to be like, okay, so yeah, that makes sense. No, email, that doesn't make sense. So that alleviates you in the moment being like, oh, squirrel, I should totally sign up for a MailChimp account and then watch that video that somebody did about MailChimp. Oh, and I got to learn how to do this first. And then all of a sudden, you've not created your VIP group and you've signed up for a MailChimp account. And recreate a whole different page. No, Sue, just if there's a lot of people that just have a VIP group that has no interaction, that just needs a revamp, that needs an overhaul, that needs some new stuff. And Fallon and I talked about that today. If you have had that VIP group for a while, like I know you have, Sue, and you have recruited a lot of people, and there's a lot of people's people in there still, I would do a clean out. And this is a really good time again to do that. To go through, you should know each of those people. You should know who they are. You should, just like on your Facebook friends list, when you go through and you're like, ooh, I don't know who that is. Oh, where are they, a Scentsy person? You should not do that. In your VIP group, you should know intimately who each of those people are. And if they are a new recruit, again, urge them to create their own group, and they can duplicate your group. That's perfect. And then take their people with them, so that you know that every single person in that group is somebody that is your customer and that you are going to be working with. Okay, cool. Okay, so your members, who they are, the criteria, when you're going to launch, where you're going to do it at. Write that plan down, how you're going to do it. So are you going to send a postcard? The comment number, anyone who didn't comment got booted. Ha! Yeah, totally can do that. The only thing, just think about those darn Facebook algorithms turning off people's notifications. People may not have known. But on how? So you said that you're going to do something by mail. Tell us how in your plan. So that's where you start to weed things out. So that's where you're like, yeah, I'm totally going to tell people by post, by mail, by Facebook, by message, by text. And then you get to this one that says how, and you're like, ooh, but for a mail, I have to create a postcard and then do this. Okay, that doesn't make sense for me now. I'm not going to do mail. So that helps you kind of hone in on what you can do in the time frame and what you will do to avoid the squirrel syndrome and actually make this thing happen. So your house could be a postcard. It could be that you are sending them a MailChimp, if that's something you already have in place. If you already have a texting system in place, then maybe it's through there, maybe it's through a Facebook post, maybe it's an integrated campaign where you have lots of moving parts coming together. Whatever that is, write it down on paper. Make sure that it makes sense budget-wise, time-wise, and just your capabilities-wise at this moment to get it done by that September 1st, which is what we're all shooting for, whether it's new or revamped. Okay, then you want to ask the question, what? So what, on these members, what they need to know, what to expect when they get there. They need to know why they haven't been invited to this group. They want to know, when they get there, what they can expect. So basically, it's going to be your pitch. What is your pitch to these new members, and why do they want to be there? So that's why we do all of the stuff on 1, 2, and 3 first, because we're figuring out the answer to that question so that we can easily write that pitch, because it should already sort of be there in that mantra, in that theme that we kind of put together, the questions that we ask of why they want to be there, all the added value stuff, that should all already be pulled together. You just have to now make it sound pretty and short and sweet so that you can tell them in a nutshell why you want them to be there. And simple is always better here. The more that you talk, the more sentences you have in messages, the more you sound like a used car salesman. So short and sweet. Even if you don't answer all the questions, that's okay. You want them to ask the questions. Okay, next, number 7 is all about time. So you've got to figure out several things on time. The launch date. Again, for the purposes of this training, for us working together, we're going to look at that September the 1st sort of launch date. You want to figure out the date that you're going to add people to that page. Again, you're going to do all of the other stuff first. And let me look at this question. I only can see half it. As a new consultant, should I build clientele before? Nope. Start it now. Build your wings as you go. And if it makes you feel better, it's great because you can tell them that you just started. This is the VIP group. They're going to get extra VIP treatment, so don't feel bad that there's only, a couple in there. But that gives you a chance and sort of a way to end conversations with people. So you met somebody in the store, you complimented on their purse, you gave them a free sample, and then you say, hey, I do weekly giveaways or whatever. In my VIP group, you should totally join. Let me add you on Facebook. So it gives you a really good way to have that sort of last thing that you end conversations with. So absolutely right now. Build your wings as you go. Yes. One of my favorite quotes for sure. Okay. So the date that you're going to add the people. So what I'm talking about, especially if you're creating this VIP page for the first time, not the revampers. If you're creating it for the first time, when are you going to have all this other stuff done? And then what day are you going to add the people? That way you have a very clear date that you are accountable to. And another Rachel Hollis quote that I love is, do not break promises to yourself. If you're going to break promises to anybody, the last person it can be is to yourself. So if you promise yourself that it's going to happen by this date, that is a promise you cannot break. And so put a date to it. Next is when you're figuring out this time category, include in there the scheduling of what you're going to talk about and when, how often you want to post, how often you want to do lives, and that way you have a schedule. So again, it's scheduled in, and it's always easier to make those things scheduled in because you're never ever going to be able to fit more time in the end of any day. But if you have it scheduled in, then it's a priority for you. So if you think, okay, I'm going to do lives on every Monday about a home decor trend or whatever, then schedule that in right now. So it's part of this time category. You're figuring out that schedule. And again, on that 1, 2, and 3, and 4, when you're talking about added value, that's when you should be kind of jotting this stuff down. So as you're thinking through, you're going to be just pulling again from the top down into each of these categories. So in this one, you're going to be talking, you're going to be pulling down those added value things like, oh, I really wanted to talk about home decor trends, and I have a lot there, and I have a lot in my house, so I'm going to do it on Mondays. I'm going to go live and talk about that. I'm going to commit to doing that. And so you can schedule that in. Or you can pull down and say, okay, well, I said that I was going to talk about coffee stuff. So maybe every Tuesday I give a coffee quote or a coffee recipe or a coffee fragrance or whatever. And you don't have to say, hey, it's Coffee Tuesday. You can just know on your schedule that every Tuesday you're talking about coffee. They're not going to ever think like, oh, they're really not going to put two and two together. It doesn't matter if they did that. Oh, every Tuesday she talks about coffee. They're just going to see that you always have this new engaging content. And the really cool thing about having that schedule as well, that's awesome, Bianca. The really good thing about having this schedule too is that when you see stuff like, the idea about home decor, and you saw this article that said, alert, the newest thing for 2019 is printed wallpaper on your wall. And maybe it's not your day to talk about home decor, it's on Monday and it's Friday, then what you can do is you can go into your group and you can schedule that to happen on Monday at whatever time. And so that's another beautiful thing about having this plan in place and the schedule in place, is that when you find stuff as you go, you don't have to try to figure out a place that you're just that you're holding all the information. You can go ahead and schedule it in, go ahead and make it happen, so that stuff is all the best stuff is already plugging and playing. So use that Facebook scheduler to your advantage. Okay, another thing on the time is, figuring out how many times you're going to post weekly. I polled a lot of different people and some friends, some leaders on this, and it's not a daily place. Some of you might do it daily, but it seems like what was working out the best is maybe 3 times a week, maybe 4 times a week, maybe it's 3 posts and 1 live, but figure out what's your good balance and what works for you and stick with that consistency, because if the first couple of weeks you do 7 posts, you do every day, and then the next week you do one, it's going to mess with your Facebook algorithms. Facebook's gonna be like, oh, well, she was gung-ho and now she's not doing it anymore, so we're not gonna serve out her content to her people. It's going to change your algorithms. Another reason consistency is so dang important. And then also it's going to teach your people, they don't need to come there, or it's going to give them an idea. Maybe it makes them think you're not all in your business anymore. Maybe she's not selling anymore. Maybe she's not going to be the one that can get me that birthday gift in time after all, because she's, a little flaky. Be super consistent. Another reason planning is really important. On your scheduling, think about doing a live catalog reveal. Since we're talking about September 1st, go ahead and think about that. Put that into your plan to do a reveal of the catalog. So it goes live, but you have one live here. Go through each page, tell them about stuff. You can use your iPad to show them photos, and you can do a mirror flip on it so that you can show them actual photos. If you have product in hand, you can show them that. If you got your kit, your transition season kit, you can show them that. You can talk about the different scents that are your favorite, whatever it is. Yeah, Bianca said you received Facebook notice that friends hadn't heard from you in a few days. Yeah, I hate that on my business pages. Facebook's like, this many 5,000 friends haven't heard from you for a while. I'm like, shut up, Facebook. I'm busy. But Facebook can really be your friend and your partner in your business if you work within its parameters. So utilize those things, utilize those units, utilize their algorithms to your best advantage. Okay, last chance order. So again, on the scheduling thing, the last thing I want to say on that is that you can also do things like, if you know that every month you're going to have a VIP mystery hostess party that closes on the 30th, then you can schedule a post and an image for the 30th of the next month that says the same thing. They're not going to remember that it says the exact same thing, but you can perfectly craft it and then schedule it. So even if you forget, that it's not something that you accidentally post at 7 o'clock that night when you wanted to post it at 7 a.m. Schedule that stuff in. That's something that works for me for the Firefly group, is that I have it scheduled so that I don't forget to tell you guys on the 14th to order your Warmer of the Month kit, or to edit that subscription. So I have that in. You can do 2 months in advance. So if you're doing something like that, you might only can do 2 of them, but it's something that will really help you with your business so that you can focus on your other IPAs. Okay, let's see. That was number 7 on time, and that was the last one. So now we're talking about some fun. Oh, I was hitting a thing. Y'all can see my paper on the Facebook Live. I was hitting us on Zoom. Sorry, Zoom. Okay. Oh my gosh, I know I've been talking so much. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody on video? Okay. I'm just gonna keep going. All right, I'm gonna go fast. So when you're thinking about this, like this number 1, 2, 3, when we're talking about the name and the brand and the look and the feel, you want to think about within your brand. So some examples are, if you are a school teacher, then maybe your brand, everything has to do with that terminology. So maybe you do lots of how-tos. Maybe you do lots of teaching moments. Maybe you tell them what a live enzyme actually is. Like, yeah, we tell you there's live enzymes in our stuff and our cleaning products, but what does that actually mean? You tell them why we don't have antibacterial soap, like why that is a bad thing. You can give them, you can name things like, these are your life lessons, or this is your teaching moment, or, this is your, if you're a flight attendant, this is your stewardess talking. You can bring in yourself into this group because these people started a relationship with you first. And so you don't have to lose that. You want to bring that in as much as you can. So on the how-tos, you can show them how to clean, maybe that is your live that you do every week. And maybe it's a how to clean your grill with the the kitchen soap. Maybe it's a how to change your wax, because don't take it for granted that people know how to do these things. Maybe it's how to put together, some decorations in your house, how to put together some decor for the fall, how to create a really beautiful entryway piece that features, a Scentsy warmer or whatever it is. Use that school teacher things. Also, if you're a photographer, Fallon and I talked about some of this today. She is a photographer. I know there's lots of you that are actually professional photographers as well. Amber, that's here. Lots of you. And Desiree, Karen, I'm thinking of several. So utilize that skill set that you have, because I can't do that. Think about, when you're thinking about, it's called your unique value proposition in marketing. So your UVP. What is that added value? What is that UVP that you can bring? And if you can answer the question, like, could Kande do that? Could Fallon do that? Could this person do that? If the answer is no, that's probably your UVP. Fallon can go in her VIP group and talk about things like, here's some tips on how to photograph your kids in the fall. Here's some tips on lighting for getting beautiful photos. Here's some tips on where to print your photos of your kids. Here's tips on all things photography or all things creative, or if your thing is crafting, then here's some ideas for some crafting things that you can do that I can't teach them because I don't know how to do that stuff. If you knit stuff, do some quick tutorials and showing them how to make a coat, a koozie, like a little knit koozie, something like that. Bring that added value from your skill sets that you already have and bring it into your group, because people want more of you, and that's how you can do it. And those Facebook Lives are a really good way to do that. If you love cooking, then bring that in. Every Monday, Friday, have a date night cooking lesson where you are telling them to, Susan, you do already an incredible job on fitness already, but bring that in. Maybe you have a VIP group specific fitness class that you do. Every Wednesday you work out together. And that's a really great way to create bonds. You want to create connections with these people. They are your future directors. They are the people that are going to be vacation with you in the future, that are going to be your best customers, your hosts. So create those connections and those bonds with them. Cook with them. Do a cooking class for them. If you are into fitness, then give them VIP only meal plans that you do. Give them VIP only, tips. And working out and fitness is a really... Amber said that hers is a fitness and pizza in my mouth. I love that. I mean, and funny things like that too is great. I mean, since you're talking about fitness and food already, then why not throw a meme or two in about, tacos and, if you don't like tacos, you're nacho my type. As for me and my house, we serve tacos, salsa 24/7. Those things are really funny and are in that same theme and that same genre. And so those would fit into that brand because you're already talking about those things. So what added value can you give to your people that I cannot give to those people? So always answer that question. And I mean, I can't give those people and give them like, this is the secrets of the things I haven't told of how I lost 100 pounds. I can't tell people that. You can. Here is the meal plans or the exact receipt, or take them shopping with you at the grocery store. Give them more of you. They should get more of you than anybody else. And I know Susan, for example, is super social and already gives a lot of herself. But figure out what it is that you could hold back and only give to your VIP groups. They want more of you. An event and party planner that I'm licensed in, bring that in. And you can bring that in more ways than one. You can create opportunity with that kind of thing. You can create opportunity by creating a direct sell or work from home what do they call it? Career fair, job fair, and get other direct sellers and put together an event. You know how to do that stuff. You can make it happen. So utilize that. If you're an event planner, then man, teach people, go live and teach people how to do an awesome Thanksgiving for their friends, or tell them how to have a really fun home party. That one's exciting because you could do so much stuff. What are the skills that you know that you aren't utilizing right now because you're staying home with kids or whatever? You do not have to lose yourself in this business. This business should enhance yourself. It should give you the freedom to do all the fun stuff of that self that you want. You should be able to give all of that instead of saying that was me then and this is me now. I'm Cincy now, but I used to be an event planner. No, you're Cincy now, and you're going to bring that event planning in, and you're going to utilize that and leverage that to add value to your customers and your people's lives. So figure out some things that you could do there. And man, there's lots of fun stuff you can do. Everything from event planning, how to decorate, how to do it on a budget, and when to have different kind of parties and etiquette stuff, and things like, hey, I just read an article and the number one thing that people notice when they come into your home is scent. That works with your event planning and it works with Scentsy. So think about those kind of things and make sure that your timeline and that the media that you're being filled with fills you with inspiration for those posts. Okay, so I got excited on that one. I don't even know where I'm at. So cooking or dogs, like Amelia, she works, in that vet space, and we have several that work in that vet space. So if you're in that vet space, maybe you go live and you're at work with a dog. People want more of you and they know that you love dogs. So, maybe it's hey, this is what I'm doing, but I'm more excited after work or to do this, or this is what I'm doing and it stinks, but you know, I have a Scentsy Go or whatever. Or this is an inside peek of what I do on my day job before I get off and sell you some Scentsy, because again, people want more of you. I also do a weekly. Yeah, Bianca does a really great, Susan, I am all about brainstorming. It's my favorite thing to do ever. So let's do it. Bianca says she does a weekly My Highway chat. And she does these chats with her people while she's driving, because she does these crazy long round trips to work, and these long trips to work away from her home, and it's a perfect time. So she utilizes that time instead of using it as a hindrance of, I can't do those, Kande, because I commute 5 hours to work. Utilize that and create a whole dang brand around it. And Bianca's built her business by being the mobile Scentsy lady. I know it. I know her. She's the mobile Scentsy lady, and so does everybody else because of that. Susan Fit Sense, you totally had it. Great test, Susan. Yeah, love it. Okay. So another idea here is, so we were talking about, so when we were talking about my friend Kate, her Wizard of Oz, the No Place Like Home, the make your home so awesome that you'll never leave. That's her whole theme, and that's her whole mantra. So the things that she's going to talk about is, again, that home decor, the idea of coziness, articles about coziness, about blankets, about being basic, about being fall, about when the PSL is going to be coming out, about the colors that you can paint your house to make it feel the most cozy, a space that she's designed or decorated her house that has a Scentsy warmer in it that feels like home, that feels cozy. Articles about how so many people, like 49% of adults work from home now. That's insane. And it's big companies like Apple and Google allow people to work from home. And so those things are all things that make some sense, and that if you're real strategic about it, starts planting seeds without you even asking them yet to join you. You're already telling them. If you're a millennial, you can talk about how the millennials absolutely are perfect in line with everything that direct sales stands for. Everything direct sales is about is in line with what millennials want. They want flexibility. They don't want to work from home. They want freedom. They want to feel like they're giving back. They want to be generous. They want to be authentic because they are sharing their lives on social. Like, what is direct sales? What is Scentsy? It's the simplicity, it's the authenticity, it's the flexibility, it's the ability to share yourself, your unique you. And so if that is you and you're in that space and you live in that space, then talk about social media. Talk about millennials. Talk about the new stuff that's on the horizon. If you love technology, then talk about that. Because maybe if I'm in your group and I don't love technology, but you share it, like, I'm going to love seeing that new information, because in a conversation later on, somebody's going to bring up something about Snapchat. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I know about that because of my VIP group. So you're bringing added value that's not just Scentsy. They know Scentsy, guys, and you can put Scentsy in the stuff that you're already talking about. Okay, so some other ideas that you can do within your groups is things like beauty tips. If you're totally into hair and makeup, or if people are always commenting like, oh my gosh, your hair and makeup is always like on point, then utilize it, leverage it. Talk about some beauty tips that you can do and work that in with your brand. Maybe it's beauty tips, and then your whole page is about beautifying things, like making your life beautiful. And you're making your life beautiful by the pretty stuff and the warmers that you're decorating your house with, and the scent that can change people's mood and make them feel, more alive or more beautiful. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, anything that you are doing that's already you can bring into this space and make it really exciting for your people. And that one's a really good one for any of you that are hairdressers. I know we have several of you that are hairdressers that you can bring into this. Again, the how-tos, the home decor trends, Pinterest stuff. Look at your Pinterest boards. What are your Pinterest boards? What are those things that you can already pull from, that you already have, that's already organically you, that you don't have to go out and like find all this information or learn about something. It's something that you already can bring to the table. Okay. Another extra is, so this, okay, just a second. Hopefully I'm not freezing up for everybody. Yeah, Bianca, I don't know what you're saying here. So Smelly Rancher is Mandy Hill. So she is a rancher. She works on the farm. She works a bazillion hours and sells a boatload of Scentsy. And she's incredible. And she has the hashtag of Smelly Rancher. And so her brand is totally on point with that. It's perfect. Okay, so for some extra things that you can do in your VIP groups, this is for revamping, this is to put in your planning for your strategy. You can do things like, welcome everybody to my VIP group, or welcome back to the relaunch, or welcome to the new catalog season. Here is a Starbucks gift card, please just one drink each or whatever. You can put, if you can afford it, obviously all of these things that you have to think as a business owner within your budget, if you can afford it, like $50 you can go do $50, like go on your mobile app and you do gift and you do $50 and then you send it to yourself. And when you send it to yourself, it'll give you a barcode. That barcode you can copy and paste it. You can screenshot it and post that on your page and tell them as a thank you or as a kickoff to the new season or whatever. Enjoy a Starbucks on me. The first 50 people, 10 people, 5 people, or as far as this money can go. They don't have to know how much is on it. And just encourage them to try to be respectful of other people. And gosh, do you think that you could spend $50 better? Do you think that $50 in Facebook ads would go as far as buying somebody a Starbucks? No, ma'am. Do it on PSL day. Happy Pumpkin Spice Latte Day. Go get one on me. Thank you so much for being an awesome customer. Like, all of this stuff is easy to do, and you have to think again, the money wise, like what would be more well spent? Like, I can't think of a better way for somebody to earn my business forever to buy me a freaking Starbucks, because I am basic and I don't, I'm not ashamed of it. So buy me a coffee and I'll love you forever. Something about a free coffee. And then you can do something like, so this one might be one that you like. So I was thinking about this idea yesterday. I'm just going to keep talking, you guys. I know that I'm past time, but I've got some other ideas. I'm just going to keep talking, so hopefully you don't hate me for taking up your whole night. But I get excited when I brainstorm fun things like this. Okay, so another thing that you could do to bring value into your group is you could bring other people into your group to do Facebook Live trainings. So, for example, if you are, Sue, let's think about something for you for fitness or whatnot. Maybe it's every Monday you're doing a live, but maybe some of the Mondays are you, but maybe some of the Mondays are other people. Maybe some of the other Mondays it's a guest coming on that is that you pay in Scentsy to do it. You trade them, and they do a 30-minute live with a workout or a cooking class or a meal planning tip or whatever it is, some inspiration. And so you bring other people in. Another thing that you could do, if your group is really all about crafting or all about like creative things, you can bring other creative people in. So I started thinking about this because for my whiff box this next month, it's going to be something about being basic or the hugga idea, being cozy. And so I thought, I can't put in a knitted like infinity scarf in my box, but what if I put a card in there and said, join us on Monday, live on my Facebook group when I have a master knitter friend coming that's going to live teach you how to make yourself an infinity scarf in this much time, and here's the string to do it. I can buy you string. That's cheap, and I can put that in your box, and you can bring it to my Facebook Live, and then I all of a sudden just got you to my VIP group at the same dang time. And then each Monday you bring something else. You bring something into these people's lives that they didn't have before. And you can give them, you can just trade Scentsy for that time of people. And so, gosh, you can think about so many different ideas here. I'm going to a hand lettering workshop. What if you brought a hand letterer onto your VIP group and let them teach everybody how to write their name? Like something so freaking simple like that would be so cool to do. Like you could have workshops, you know, and again, if you're a teacher, maybe you call them workshops. If you're, you know, I don't know, another good example, if you're, I don't know, you call them, what do they call them? 2-a-days. If you're into sports, I don't know. Some other ideas. I can brainstorm if I have a specific idea. Sorry for the Starbucks card. You would go to the Starbucks mobile app. Yep, you just go to the Starbucks mobile app. I did this for my last whiff box. I gave them the code and I said, and it was just one thing, and I put, I don't remember, I did like $4 or $3.50 or something per purse per all of my people. So I think it was like $100 that I put on there. It was worth it for me. And then everybody used the same code. So it took me like 2 seconds to do. I printed that code on this card and gave it to them, and said, and then I wrapped it and I said not to open it up on July 23rd, which was my birthday. So when they opened it on July 23rd, it said, it's my birthday, but I want to give a gift to you for thanking you for being awesome, whatever, have a latte on me. And so you can see like on the report too, when everybody uses the money on it, and like everybody got a coffee on our birthday, which was so fun. It was a cool thing to do. So, I love Starbucks coffee, and so does everybody else. So utilize that app because you can send gifts, like gifts, not GIFS, GIFTS, through that Starbucks app. And it's one of my favorite gifts to give to people too. So because it's automatic, you're not promised then that you're going to mail them a bar, because you might think, oh, well, I mean, I only paid half for this bar, so it cost me $3. But then once you put it in the mail and you pay postage and then you forget about it for a few days, all of a sudden it already cost you $6 and it took 2 weeks to get there. Whereas you could give them a free Starbucks and it could be there within like 5 minutes and it's done, and they love you because it's Starbucks and you have to mail anything or go to the post office. So Starbucks is really awesome. Another thing that you can do, another really cheap one that's fun, is you can do a Cheryl's.com is cookies, and you can get a cookie and a card for $5, guys. $5 shipped. And it sends it directly to them, and they're all like super cute ones, and there's like thank you ones or happy birthday ones. So maybe if you decide in your group that your thing is that you really want to celebrate birthdays, and you get everybody's birthday, and everybody in your VIP group gets a happy birthday cookie and card on their birthday. That costs you $5 a year for each customer. Super amazing. Or maybe you decide that you're going to do half birthdays. So what a surprise for them to get a, hey, happy half birthday, or happy anniversary of the first time that you ever bought Scentsy from me, or happy it's by Scentsy Day, you know, whatever. Come up with your own holiday that's your thing in your group, because that's going to keep people around. It's going to keep them coming back. It's going to keep them coming to your page. The name of the cookie is Cheryl's.com. So not S, Cheryl, I'm talking to like CHERYLS.com. And that takes you to Cheryl's, and you go to the cookies and you have to sort by price, like 25 and under, and then find the $5 ones, the $5 or $6 ones. I have the subscription that gets me even cheaper, but you can get them for $5 or $6. Okay, so I lost a couple people. I think it's probably because I've been talking too long. So I'm going to try to finish up here. You can do a mystery hostess party just for your VIPs. If you ever want to know some different ideas out of the box to do stuff, watch and see what leaders and other direct sales companies are doing on YouTube. I watched one that was a super successful in another company, and what she does is she does mystery hostess parties for her VIPs every month. So VIPs, she's like, every single time, I want you all to purchase through this one link the whole month. And at the very end of the month, one of you in this VIP group is going to win all of the rewards. And so that is a really big draw. And it's another VIP perk that other people can't give, that keeps them there, that gives them something, but it's not a personal special. So you didn't do anything that's out of compliance. So it's a way to give them things without doing things that's not in compliance or giving them extra stuff. You're just giving them those rewards. You can create a street team, which is people that are your ambassadors for your brand. Every time you share my VIP group or you talk about me, you tag me, then you get X. You get into a drawing or you get whatever. Those can be your street team people. It's just like we have a welcome committee on Firefly. You can have a street team ambassadors for your brand. You can... okay, this is one of my favorites. So to say it quickly, what you can do is create a cipher. So the cipher could be the code words for personal specials that you want to do. If you really want to do personal specials and you love doing those, but you want to stay within compliance, then what you could do is you could have a cipher that works within your brand. So if your brand, again, is that Wizard of Oz, then maybe you're like, every time I say Dorothy's coming home on a post, that means that it's free shipping all day. Or every time I say Tin Man, it means that, I don't know, something to do with the heart, that anything's red is, half off today. I don't know. Whatever it is that you want to do, something within your theme that's within your brand, within your theme, or maybe your cipher theme is different and it's like all hot, TV guys. If George Clooney says blah, 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 then this is happening today. So create a cipher. And with that cipher, you can decide, okay, when somebody joins my VIP group, I have these postcards that I had printed in bulk, and it has the cipher on them. It says, welcome to your VIP group. Here's some things that you need to know. Here's a cipher. That also keeps them turning the notifications on that postcard. You can also tell them, turn on your notifications, because that's how you're going to know that these specials are happening. And here's your cipher codes. That's going to make people turn on their notifications and be super fun for them to watch. Like every time they see that you post, they're gonna be like, oh, is it George Clooney? Is it free shipping today? Like, I needed something. What is it? So create that cipher, and you can do fun stuff like make it a top secret thing. So you can give them code names. So maybe your whole thing is about being top secret. Maybe you're military. Maybe you are active duty military, Bianca or retired like Amber, and you want to do a military theme thing. You could give everybody in your VIP group a call sign. So whenever they get into your VIP group, then you ask them 5 questions, and everybody in the group gets to help come up with their call sign. And then your call, that's what you always call them by. Or you make that whole theme of it's a top secret. It comes, you send their card for their cipher, their welcome, in a top secret manila envelope that says top secret. Have fun with it, because sometimes those are the things that people remember. I had a Mini Cooper once, and everybody always asked me about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my favorite thing. And it's not about that it was, it could drive for 1,000,000 miles and be fine, or the customer service, or any of those things that were amazing. It was that they sent me a freaking cipher code only for Mini Cooper owners in the mail one time. And that's the stuff that I remember. I don't remember all of the, the stuff that cost all the money, that is really the crux of it. I remember the special touches, and Heidi talked about that in her speech at at reunion. It is the highs. It's those peaks that people remember. And so think about how you can give them your peaks in these VIP groups. Okay, so last thing, execution. September 1st, right? We want to launch this, whether it's a revamp or it's new. But I might even recommend that you do it on August the 31st so that you could get in a last chance, first glance welcome post. This is the last chance to order these things. This is the first glance of what's coming tomorrow. And then you can do like the big welcome on September 1st. But I would push for August 31st so that you can get in that last post. Also, you can, on August 31st, I would post that in the morning. August the 24th, if you're going to send any postcards and email, that's probably when you want to send it by. August the 23rd is when you want to print postcards. For this type of a turnaround, you're just going to want to print them as photos at like Walmart or Walgreens. 1 hour photo cost you 27 cents for a 4x7. You want to do that by the 23rd. By the 22nd, you want to have items number 2 and 3 done up above. And by today or so, you want to try to get that research element done within that hour. So I know this one was a long call, but I hope it was fruitful. I hope you pulled some stuff from it. I hope that we talked through some ideas. If you want to brainstorm any ideas, again, it's like my favorite thing to do. So let me know. If you have any questions I didn't cover, tell me below. I might even try to go and like let you guys know what time that I talked about different things, since this training is so long and I know you're sharing with your people. If there's anything specific that you want me to like do a time stamp for, let me know. I will let you go. Any last questions? I really hope that this was helpful for some of you. Oh, and little last note for full disclosure, full transparency. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you sure? I do not have a VIP group. Here you go. Full transparency, okay? So I'm going to be doing this right alongside of you and utilizing some of these ideas right alongside you so we can be accountability partners and make this happen together. So I hope you have a great night. I appreciate you too. Thank you guys for sticking with this long super training tonight. And we'll talk soon. Have a good night. Bye guys. Okay, turn off Facebook Live first.